choosing the right pole float. So there is millions and millions and millions of different types of pole floats, all do different jobs and to suit different anglers as well. So pole floats are made up of three parts. You've got the bristle, which is obviously the bite indication, the body, and then the stem. So each thing can be slightly different to tailor to your own fishing. So bristles, we'll start with the top. You can either have fibre, wire, hollow plastic, standard plastic, carbon and cane. So there's a right selection of bristles, all have different purposes. So traditionally, or I wouldn't say traditionally, most pole floats now have a hollow bristle in, which are extremely visible and hollow as well, so they're really buoyant. Choosing the right bristle depends on the bait you're going to be using. So if you're using a heavier bait, you'll need a bigger, thicker bristle. If you're fishing more delicate, you want to be using a wire bristle. Well, that's really, really negative fishing, so probably a fibre bristle. And then just general is hollow. So hollow sort of in the middle, and you can get them in different diameters. So they go from like a 0.8 up to 3 or 4 mil if you really wanted a massive hollow bristle. But I would say 2 mil is sort of the standard size for a pole float hollow bristle. Cane is probably not used as much these days just because it's hard to get hold of and it's not as visible as the hollow bristles. So if I was traditionally fishing a commercial fishery, I would probably go for a 2.2 mil hollow bristle and using baits like maggots, worms, casters, you could use sweet corn, that sort of thing. And I'd go for a shorter stem, but we'll come in on to the bodies first. So body shape depends on the venue as well. If you were traditionally fishing a river flowing where you're trying to hold the float back, you'd go for the classic round body, this sort of shape here. Just for the simple fact, you can hold back, run your rig through, you can check it, you can let it go at pace, it's just really stable. Then you've got your sort of classic teardrop, which you've got the Colmick Jolly here and another Colmick Bruno pattern here. That's your sort of 50-50, I would say. You could use it on still waters, you could use it on slower, sluggish rivers, and you could use it on drains as well. Then you've got your pencil sort of shape, which is more for like delicate presentation or speed fishing where you want to strike fast and bring the fish out of the water quickly. And then you've obviously got like a shoulder, like body up. So that's good when you want to hold back on harder flowing venues. And then you've just got basically, that's a pace float there, just a slim line sort of teardrop. So if I was fishing natural venues with flow, I'd go for the classic round body like this here. So like probably the Gloucester sort of style body shape. There's tons and tons of different body shape patterns available in that body shape, just with different bristles. So you've got the option of fibre, hollow, depending on where you're fishing and what light visibility and your own eyesight as well. So moving on to stems. So with stems you've got wire, fiberglass, carbon, and that's pretty much all the stems. You used to be able to get cane stems years ago, but that's non-existent now. So if I was fishing on deeper venues where you had a shorter length of line between your pole tip and your float, I would go for a carbon stem. If you want a float that's going to be more stable in the wind, I'd go for wire, but obviously the disadvantage of wire, it's not going to be strong. So a classic commercial float would probably be a glass stem or carbon with the standard sort of teardrop shape with your thicker hollow bristle. If I was going for a river float that was probably on a windy day, I'd go for your classic round body with a wire stem. If I had to pick any float to do a bit of everything, then you just stick for the standard like Colmick Jolly. Could do both, but probably not so good for commercial fishing for bigger baits with corn and pellets and things like that. So it is a bit of a minefield, but the things you need to consider are the bristle. So what hook bait am I going to be using and what do I want to be able to see? The stem, depending on the conditions, if it's windy, how deep I'm fishing and what species am I fishing for. So do I need strength to go fiberglass? If I need stability, go wire. And if I need sort of in the middle, a bit of everything, then go for carbon. And then the body shape depends on the venue. Natural venues, you'd probably go for this classic round body or the pear drop. Or if you were fishing a fast river, you go for body up, so you're holding back. If I was fishing more delicate, go for a pencil, and then your standard commercial sort of pear shape there, but pretty generic. So you've got bristle, stem and body style.